I'm currently on the line with the guys of Cause for Concern, so I'm going to go ahead and give them a chance to introduce themselves.
Yo, yo. I'm Max. I play guitar in Cause for Concern, frontman of the band.
I'm Jonathan. I play drums. I'm hanging in the back.
And I'm Farron. I play bass in the band.
All right, sounds good. Well, thank you guys for joining me. So these interviews are always targeted at trying to figure out how people got into music and became musicians. So why don't each of you take a turn kind of briefly describing the environment that you found yourself interested in music and what that meant for you?
Yeah, who wants to start?
Yeah, I guess I'll take it. It's Jonathan here. So I guess before I started drums, I was a piano man. So like a lot of kids, I took piano lessons when I was about like 7 or 8 and did that for a while. And eventually my buddy Max, the guitarist, he always played guitar. So we kind of had this idea to make a band, but we needed a drummer, of course. So Max was like, you should play drums. And being a young kid, I always wanted to play drums. So we kind of hopped into that pretty quick. And that definitely like changed the type of music I listened to also. So that was definitely like a huge journey, listening to like classical stuff or like Star Wars pieces on piano, and then going to like Iron Maiden and Sabbath and stuff like that. So it was definitely like a big awakening for my view on music, going from piano to drums. That was pretty cool for me. Oh yeah. Sarah?
Yeah, I actually have kind of a similar start to Jonathan because I grew up ever since I was a kid, starting out with violin actually. And I grew up playing violin through a couple different ensembles. I was concertmaster in my high school. So I grew up learning and playing a lot of classical repertoire. But the thing is, I didn't actually listen to classical music. Like, we learned classical music in class and we performed it in the orchestra halls. But I always listened to alternative rock music. Really loved the Strokes and Phoenix growing up. But I just never really thought of playing that type of music, since I always just thought I was a classical music guy. I didn't actually even pick up bass until the end of college. In college, I was playing in the University of Minnesota Orchestra as a violinist. And then I just decided to pick up bass one day. I wasn't really good at it, but there are a lot of string theory music stuff that translates over to bass pretty well. So then post-grad, I started learning the bass seriously, and then joined a couple bands until I finally met these guys, and then we started writing our own music and performing it. So that's kind of my story.
Nice.
Yeah, so I grew up around music, not so much that my immediate family was inclined in it, but I was born in the dad rock scene. All the Led Zeppelin and Jimi Hendrix and all that, I was listening to that as a child. And I always had a guitar laying around, but I was the kid that was struggling to play power chords for Smoke on the Water for the first like 5 years. But I never really learned anything until I convinced Jonathan, our drummer, to buy a drum kit sometime in high school. And he always wanted to do it. And that kind of seriously started picking it up. I took one guitar class in high school and learned how to strum a few chords. And besides that, it was mainly experience. So as soon as I got a taste for it, I wanted to play with more people. I was playing in different jam bands and really learned how to solo and come into my guitar sound by doing that. A lot of good advice from other musicians, but it's always been around. My uncle played guitar, so he teach me how to noodle a few things back in the day. I was playing Metallica solos before I could play a C chord on guitar. So that's kind of my background.
Nice. So since we're on the topic of the instruments that we play and getting familiar with them, what is a piece of advice that each of you have that helped you get over your plateau?
Yeah, let's start that one.
Let's see. There's something in mind already.
I'll start. A big one for me was I would just because it's just play as much as you can. Everyone tries to say, practice 10 minutes a day and you'll get better. But that is true. It sucks sometimes to practice every day and get that consistency. But honestly, the big thing that helped me is I would just learn something really slow, whether it was just a technique or a strumming pattern or a little lick in a solo, I would just watch like that 70s show on TV and play it on an electric guitar, not plugged in, as quiet as it could, just to get that muscle memory down. Because I think that's the real key to being comfortable with your instruments and hitting that next level of feeling like you can actually play it and master it.
Yeah, Sharon here. For me, the biggest thing that helps me was just experimenting with different genres that you're not familiar with. So like I was trying to learn how to improv solo on violin as an example. Even though there's not a lot of application for that in classical repertoire, but I would try to do it over a backing track and it just wasn't clicking to me. So I decided to start learning jazz standards, which is completely different world from classical music. And from learning jazz music, I started improving my improv skills, and I was able to gain the confidence to start doing that on a stage. So that's kind of my piece of advice.
So for me on drums, I think the biggest thing for me was probably just sitting down and playing to songs. Like I haven't done it too much recently, but like if you just kind of sit down and play through a song, you might not know it yet, but you try to predict, the fills they're going to play, or try to get a feel for actually playing a whole song. It really brings everything together. That's something I didn't really do before. But also, like Saren said, just playing different genres. When I would, jam outside of the band or like with some of our friends, we're doing like some funk or some real dirty blues or something, and you get out of your comfort zone. That's when you really start getting more creative, and you can kind of also be more creative on the spot when you're just creating a new song or something. So those are the two biggest things for me.
All right, great. So it sounds like a couple of you guys have known each other since high school and have kind of stuck together. Tell me about how Cause for Concern came together.
Yeah, so Cause for Concern started as an idea when we were all in our parents' basement with short hair and clean clothes and not the rock and roll vibe. We were going for a rock and roll vibe, but not what we were at the time. I've known our drummer Jonathan since middle school. We met at the bus stop.
Yeah, about like 13 years ago.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, we just kind of started jamming around when he got that drum kit, and it picked up from there. We found another friend, Eddie, who was in the band when we first formed it. And we've known him since middle school too. He played guitar, and he actually brought in Saren to us. They were friends of friends. What year do you want to say that was? Like 2022? It was 2022 that we met Saren?
November 2022, yeah.
So yeah, like two years ago?
2 years ago.
2 years ago now? And yeah, we met him through our friend Eddie, and that's when we officially started Cause for Concern. I think we were some shitty garage garage rock band called 38th Street Basement back then. Didn't even have didn't have a song to our name, but I mean, we found the chemistry was there. We knew
since day one, we kind of hit it off, and we made a song that's called Moonscape, and we still play to this day, and it's still one of our favorites. And we made it the day we all came together.
First day we met him, actually. Cool. Yeah.
Nice, that's great. All right, well, what are you guys doing with this project? Are you currently writing and intending to record? I know you guys just played a show this past weekend. So
we did.
Tell me about where you kind of see yourself going with this project.
So, I mean, my vision for it is just to get something out there people are going to listen to, whether it's local, whether we have a small following out of state or out of country, just anything. We want people to hear what we put out there. We think it's good. We enjoy doing it. Right now, we're focusing a lot on just playing local shows, getting some money up. We booked some studio time. Mm-hmm. We're recording a lot of songs this year, hoping to put them all out if we can by the end of the year. But I don't know. What are your guys' goals? What you thinking?
I mean, right now we are at a point where it still feels like the beginning. So we have a lot of song ideas that we haven't recorded yet, and this is going to be a big year for recording, like Max was saying. And so we're just kind of taking it step by step. This year is going to be a big year for recording and finally getting an album out by the end of the year, hopefully. And I mean, after that, it's kind of just rinse and repeat. Hopefully get some bigger venues, get more people to hear us,
get more
maybe
networks.
some tours in the future. We just want to, keep it steady. Try not to do too much, just stay consistent for right now.
Yeah. I mean, my favorite part of the band, honestly, is like when we create new things. I would say like in our band's like honeymoon phase, I guess you would call it. Some of my favorite moments are when we just make the songs, and I'm really excited to get those songs recorded and for people to hear all the work that we put into the stuff that we create here. So that's kind of my take on it.
Awesome, that's great. All right, so it sounds like you guys have kind of landed on some of your favorite memories that you have working together. But what do you think it is personally that kind of keeps you motivated to continue to be a musician in general?
I think I can take this one. My favorite thing, and I kind of touched on it a little bit before, but my favorite thing is just making new things that you genuinely enjoy. So with these guys. We at the beginning of our band, we were writing so many songs, and each one of those songs, I genuinely believed that all these songs are good, and I would even go back to the scratch recordings and listen to them in my car because I liked the song so much. One of the things that keeps me going as a musician is just the art of creating something that you just know that is special. And that you're so excited to share with other people. And that's one of the reasons why I love performing live with these guys too, because to me, it just feels so good to play a song that you and your boys just wrote and then have a whole bar of people who don't even know you dance along to it, like, clap their hands to it, snap their fingers. That's the type of a thing that really keeps me going as a musician.
No, I agree. It just, I don't know, playing music feels natural. I mean, music is older than math. If you really think about it, it's a human thing, and it just feels right to do, whether you play it or listen to it. How can you not love music?
I'll say for me, like one thing that definitely keeps me going is like music has always been just relaxing, especially like the drums. And when you're banging on the drums, it's always been something that's like an outlet, for me. So I definitely it's always something I look forward to. I know it's going to be fun or relaxing, whichever one it is. But also with the band specifically, like it never feels like too much of like a chore or work, to be in this band. Like we get a lot of stuff done, but also like we're all friends. It all feels like a safe space and stuff. We get drunk together, we have an argument, and then we get over it together. Like it just feels right. It's never been a time where it doesn't feel right. So
yeah, no judgment, all brothers.
Yeah,
All right. Well, where can people find you and check out your show calendar and then listen to the stuff that you're going to be putting out there?
Yeah. Do you want to go?
You got
Absolutely.
It,
so yeah, we're on all social media. We're primarily putting all of our updates on Instagram and Facebook at Cause for Concern Band. We're also on Bandcamp as well. We also have a website, which is Cause for Concern Band. Yeah, causeforconcernband.com. Sometimes forget that band part. causeforconcernband.com also has all of our show dates and future stuff to look for. We also have some tracks on there as well for people to listen to. We're also on YouTube as well. We have
a studio track on YouTube if anyone wants to take a listen.
Yeah, we're on YouTube as well. Currently not on any major streaming platforms, but
not yet.
Hopefully that's going to change in the future. Yeah. So
that will change.
That will
hopefully.
Yes, that will change. We'll get our music out there.
Nice, that's great. All right, well, why don't each of you take a turn kind of sharing what your general kind of message is? I always like to give the people I interview the opportunity to put out a last message. So what is the message that you each have that you want to share with other people?
Yeah, you guys want to go? What's our personal message? No, I mean, for me, especially just talking about music and creativity, like a lot of people are down right now. Just do something that gets you out of that funk, whether it's music, whether it's drawing. Just put some art into the world right now. Have some fun with some friends. Do something weird. I don't know. Just enjoy yourself a little bit right now.
What about you, Jonathan? I know you have an exhilarating message. Everyone wants to know what you think. The man in the back, the drummer himself. What are his thoughts?
He's
the stoic, yeah, the stoic.
Oh my god.
You got nothing either, Sarah?
No,
I'm delaying it. I'm delaying
right.
it right now by putting him on the spot.
I don't know, actually. I mean, something I just tell myself is like, sometimes don't take life too seriously. Like, and this is just like in general, whether you're in a project or you're at work or something. I mean, like, if something is going wrong, the only thing you can do is just stay calm and try to get through it and think about stuff rationally. I mean, that's like kind of some obvious shit, but that's something I kind of live by low key. Like, you can't take everything around you too seriously. You can't get too offended. And it's easier to say that, so I don't know if it's a good message to say to people, but, you know, if it reaches some people's ears and it sticks with them, then shit, that's good. Fuck it.
Oh man, I would say my message is, if you're passionate about something, you should just go for it. You should just do it.
I swear to God.
You know what I mean?
Don't wait.
Because I feel like, you know what people gravitate towards? People that are passionate about something. That's what people really like. People like people that are passionate about things, and people can tell when you're passionate about something. So obviously we're passionate about music. We're passionate about our band. I think people sense that with us when we play live shows and when we meet other bands in the scene, and kind of came
that nasty bass.
Yeah. Yeah. I also actually had a pretty notorious violin solo phase too. Yeah. Yes. Back in the orchestra days. So I would say that's my thing. If you're passionate about it, just do it.